has exited the chat. Hi everybody, and welcome to the Average Girl Chit Chat. I'm your host Celeste, and I'm just an average girl with non-average opinions. And today we're going to talk about how the preteen era has literally exited the building. It's gone, nowhere to be found. It's actually insane. So let's get into today's video, and I hope you like it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you love it. And even share the video if you don't and you think I just don't make any sense and I just be talking and yapping my mouth off because I'm a good yapper. So let's get into today's video. So today we're talking about the preteen era and how it has literally exited this life. It is not here anymore because of social media, the influence social media has had on children, but then also how the cringe culture has really taken over, how kids are starting to view themselves nowadays, and kids are truly embarrassed to look like a fool. Y'all, if I go back on my Facebook, girl looked like a fool, and that was me in my teen era. We got to go through the ugly stages until we can blossom into a beautiful, wonderful flower. But these kids just jump. They don't even be going through the struggles. Y'all, these kids don't even understand the struggles of looking ugly. Lord Jesus. All right. So before we get into it, we're going to define what a preteen is. A preteen is relating to a child under the age of 13. They're classifying preteen between the ages of 9 and 13. So if we all know what I mean by the preteen era, when we were all growing up in the mid-ish 2000s, early-ish 2000s, we had an era. It was clothes. It was what we saw on TV. It was what we wanted to buy. All of these things, y'all. And it was iconic. Okay. Iconic. Going to the book fair and getting that little device where you can message people in class. We didn't have phones. We had to go to a book fair and literally buy a device. Let me see if I can find this device. I got a PDA. PDA at Scholastic. PDA at book fair. I really unlocked a hidden memory. This video unlocked a hidden memory. You see how excited I'm getting about this? The preteens and the teens right now could never. If it's not an iPhone, they don't want it. Oh, I got caught up in that. Okay, we're back. We're back now. After doing that deep dive into what it was called, and it's called a PDA. What we're gonna get into is actually a TV show. So when you look up early preteen 2000 TV shows, you have things that pop up like Degrassi, Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana, Zoe 101, Teenage, which Sabrina, our girl, Jimmy Neutron, Lizzie McGuire, Teen Titans, True Jackson VP, Even Stevens, iCarly, Teenage Robot, All Grown Up, and then Ninja Turtles, right? So we have a lot of them. And when I pull it up and I'm going to put them up on the screen, you're going to see that they kind of pertain more to kids or pre-teenagers and even teenagers. I was watching some of these shows up until high school, y'all. I was not watching grown folk stuff. I promise. I wasn't. You can see the color scheme of them, how it's popping the teens, how it's more colorful, how it's more, I guess, on the childish spectrum and all of that. And these shows too, when you sit down and talk about them, they were all centered around a teenager and the teenager's life, right? And it was talking about things that teenagers go through. It was talking about things that teenagers have to deal with, little relationship things and all of that stuff, right? And yes, iCarly and Zoe 101 and those shows on Nickelodeon have been exposed. But when we were watching them as kids, we were looking at them from a kid's point of view. So these are shows that we were watching when we were younger in the early and mid 2000s, kind of shaped our mindset because these are things that we were watching. We didn't have social media way and the impact that they have it now. So instead of us being in front of a phone, we can't lie. Some of us were outside, but then as we got older, some of us were in front of the TV. So this is a thing that shaped us and our thinking, how we dressed, how we act, and how we handled social situations. Now, these shows, if I'm being honest, were childish. And that's okay. Because guess what they were for? Children. Now, I looked up preteen shows currently. You have shows like On My Block. Y'all, I was watching On My Block when it first came out. That's a preteen show. On My Block. It has kids in it, but like that's a pretty traumatic show. It's a pretty traumatic it's a lot going on in that show. And this is a preteen recommended show. You have shows like Riverdale as a preteen show. Stranger Things. I could see that, I can see Stranger Things because like inappropriate things really don't happen in Stranger Things. Wednesday, I could see that one too. Preteen, I would say teen. Same thing for Stranger Things. I would say teen, even though they're younger. Ginny and Georgia. I've never seen this show, but I know a lot of adults that watch this show. You have things like Young Royals, Lock and Key, Kid X, and there's a bunch of more. The Society, a lot of them. If you compare the TV show cover art from the early 2000s to the TV cover show art now, appealing a different way. So these shows are having to take a turn to center around kids and how they act now, just streaming platforms in general. And I think something that I feel like platforms need to incorporate is a teen age category. And I think this is another reason why preteen shows nowadays are starting to be more adult-like and adult-esque than it was back then, because you have streaming platforms. Most of these shows are on streaming platforms. Whenever you log into a streaming platform, what are the options? They have kids, and then you have a normal profile, right? When you get to preteen era, or when you get a teenager, they don't want to be called kids. You don't want to be called a kid. You are a teen. You are a preteen. And I think when kids get on these streaming platforms, they look at kids and they're like, I'm not a kid. So what they do is they go through the regular part of Netflix or Hulu, Max, whatever you want to call it. And they're picking from the shows that they like from these shows. They need to make a teenage category on these streaming platforms. They need to put teenage shows on streaming platform, because just right there, that shows you that there's a gap when it comes to entertainment. Entertainment is literally going from kids to adult. Why? Why do these people own a multi-million-dollar business, but they don't understand the damage? Multi-billion-dollar business, my bad. Let me not incorrectly pocket watch them. Why are they not trying to bridge that gap? You know why? Because they don't care. Okay, they don't care at all. So that's my view on the TV shows, why I think the TV shows impact has been happening, and also what I think the TV shows are doing to kids, and then also too, this is going to go into our next segue of clothing. Us as humans, we like things that are similar to us. I'm going to go back to my little list of shows because there's so many. So shows like Zoe 101, right, y'all? I was a Zoe 101 fanatic. I loved it, right? Her in the sense of age. I related to her in the sense she's a teenager, I'm a teenager. So in return, I'm looking at her. I'm seeing how she's dressing. And this shapes how I dress. In Zoe 101, the girls was layering up. I'm talking about they would be wearing a short sleeve shirt with another short sleeve shirt, then a tank top. And then they'll mess around and wear a skirt with some knee-high socks. And then they'll wear some fire tennis shoes and a purse. And the girls was eating down. And then they'll put on that shell necklace. Baby, the shell necklace. Let's not get onto that shell necklace, because that right there, that's the one. That shell necklace was the one. Then even things like Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana, she dressed the same way. Layers on layers on layers. And do not get me started on That's So Raven, baby. That's So Raven. I wanted to be her. The colors, the pop, the layers, the jewelry, the hair. These are not ways the kids would dress nowadays, but kids nowadays wearing adult clothing. I'm seeing little girls wearing push-up bras. Y'all, I didn't get my first bra, I don't think, until like 8th grade. They're wearing push-up bras, wearing full faces of makeup. What y'all got going on? What do y'all have going on? They're not doing childish things anymore. They're childish, but they're not doing childish things. They're trying to be adults. They're trying to dress like adults. They're trying to wear Fashion Nova. They're trying to wear Sheen. What happened to Justice? What happened to pastries? These brands that were meant for children, worn by kids and marketed to kids. But instead now you have Fashion Nova kids. But then these aren't even for teenagers either, because these preteens and these teens are not going to want to go in the kids section. Because what is a teen and a preteen's favorite thing to be like, I'm not no kid. I'm not no kid. Well, they love telling you they ain't no kid. They love it. They love it. And guess what? They're not a kid. There is no category for these children anymore. And how can we get mad at these kids when you're giving them two categories? You're a kid or you're an adult. Nothing in between. And how is that fair? How is it fair? It's not. A lot of kids nowadays not kids. A lot of teenagers nowadays don't have things marketed towards them because we haven't bridged that gap. And maybe society just realized the preteen and the teen era is like fading out, and they don't even want to market it. They don't want to make businesses pertaining to it or anything like that. But then it's not okay. It's not okay at all. And I'm concerned for them. And I am worried for them because this allows children, and I'm worried for them because this makes preteens and teens not excited for anything. And this makes them feel like they have to grow up super, super fast. There are teenagers out here on TikTok talking about there are teenagers out here on TikTok talking about I need to become a millionaire. A millionaire? You got bills? Like, why do you need to be a millionaire already? You need to be a kid. When I was a child, we were getting excited over the book fair. When I was a preteen, I was getting excited over the book fair still. It's going to affect them as they get older because, in society right now, kids are building these unrealistic expectations for themselves. And I predict that this next generation is going to have a high depression rate. I think my generation, we have a very high anxiety and depression rate. I think this next generation is about to have a higher depression rate because the expectations that they have for themselves, the fact that they don't get excited for things, the fact that they never had a time to have a childhood truly, the fact that they were rushed into things. These kids are going to be depressed. These kids are scared to age. They really don't be having fun. They're trying to be adults and they're missing out on some of the most carefree best years of their life, because right now they stressed about being a millionaire when they 20. Ooh, wait till they see rent coming out they check or their bank account every month. They sitting here saying they need to be a millionaire by the time they 20, but wait until they have their very first relationship and they have like an unexpected pregnancy or saying they need to be millionaires by the time they're 20. And that is crazy because I don't know anybody who I went to high school with that said that. I know people that I went to high school with that'll be like, I'm gonna be a millionaire by the time I'm 25. I feel like we still had an unrealistic expectation of time. But theirs is tremendously worse than ours. And in this next generation, they're coming up even faster. It's my TED Talk. This was a little rant. So my phone died and right now I'm sitting on the floor as it's charging, and I'm going to forget to film this outro if I don't do it now. So like, comment, subscribe. If you liked the video, leave a comment telling me why you liked it. If you disliked it, leave a comment telling me why you disliked it. I am still improving. I'm still trying to get better, and I want all the advice I can get and all of the information that anybody can tell me. I am open to criticism. So thank you for tuning in today's video. I love you all. We're a community of women and we hold each other accountable. I hope y'all have a safe day, a safe week, a safe month, and a safe year. I love all of y'all, and I post videos every Friday. Come back if you liked it. Come back if you disliked it. Give me another chance. Just give me one more chance, please. And yeah, follow me on my social media platforms if you want to. And bye, guys.